Live. All right, let me pull it up. All right, here we go. Let's see here. I got coconut oil on my fingers and it's messing up my phone. All right, let's see where we at. Here we go. Okay. All right, we got 4 people in the house. A little bit of a bump in the scheduling, so I'm going to give it a minute so some people can fill in. If these shows resonate with you, please share. We'll roll the show out in just a second. All right, my primo's in the house. What's up, Arnie Medina? Yvanya's here. She's coming on pretty quick. I saw her name on here somewhere. Yvanya, down in Tasmania. Jenny Smith, Laura McGraw, Primi Hogo, Amy Brown, Mira Ginsburg, Laws Mitchell, Cricket Holden, Soraya Williams, Monica Ramirez, Frederique De Rue, Roxanne Lopez, and Helen Angel of the Light, Sion, Alexa Davies. A lot of new names. Bobby O'Rourke. Let's see. Susan Marie's back. She was here the other day. All right. She says, I'm so excited to hear this. 36 people in the house. So welcome to Soul Speaks 5D. We got Lawrence Wendell back for the second time. I think he's coming on later this month too. And it ought to be interesting. He's a very interesting cat. We had a good time last time talking about how he defied the Matrix, man. A man after my own heart and his story. So I'm anxious to see. Welcome back, Lawrence. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah, right on.
Not much has changed since I last chatted with you.
Yeah, but, slightly. Would you say not much has changed or a lot has changed?
No. Well, I've been in a holding pattern.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But,
so that was probably, I want to say that was probably into January. So we've traversed another 6 weeks or so. February was pretty, for being the shortest month of the year on the calendar anyway. It was packed with a lot of stuff, that's for sure. And then this month, 10 days into it's been incredible. And it is March the 10th in the United States, which is my beloved's birthday. So happy birthday again, Morgan Lee.
Yeah, happy birthday. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, she's 29. I'm dating a younger woman. She is younger.
All right.
5 years younger.
Good for you.
So what's I gotta eat my Wheaties, man. So what's been going on in your world? You've been in a holding pattern?
Yeah, I've been on a holding pattern. I think a lot more, integration, literally.
Yeah.
Coming into, practicing a new way of perceiving my reality.
Yeah.
Opening myself up and letting go of the mind's idea of what it wants, because I've already, long ago, I put forth my intentions already and gave myself to spirit to do what it will with it, with this instrument, this body. So I've been just kind of hanging out here in Denver, Colorado. Just being.
Yeah.
Just being me. Yeah. Yep.
So you're not gonna. Are you planning on putting a free sign on top of your car again and driving around?
No, I don't even have a car anymore.
That's a good thing. I just got.
I don't need to make money.
Yeah.
I live outside the requirement for money. So Spirit provides everything.
Yeah. Right
at least provides access to everything. I have to go get it, but
yeah,
Yeah,
we do have to go get it, right?
Yeah.
We do have to go get this. It's like Nikki was talking about on the last show. What's everybody waiting on?
Well,
There's
that's
nothing to
just,
wait on.
yeah, I got so tired of waiting. I says, the heck with this. I'm not, I could wait forever. It's like, you think about it, everything teaches us to quit. I mean, we're shifting from the external world to the internal
Yeah.
now. And so as we go within and stop relying on the external, go ahead and start making our dreams, our insights come into our reality by choice.
Yeah.
And so when we're going from dark and deception to light and transparency now. So everything's bass backwards. And so if you get out of that old pattern, that old way of thinking, and you kind of open yourself up, okay, help me understand this, then, in that place without judgment, that neutral zone, the information comes through and you can go ahead and, well, see your way clear to going to the grocery store, grabbing the food you need, and walking right out the door. I mean, it's really that easy. And
I love it, man. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's only one flowing through everyone, and that's the word, everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, the word itself tells the truth in plain sight, but we don't see it that way because we have an interpretation of the word a certain way. But if you can see everyone as one, and you know what, I'm supposed to trust in the one, then I can trust in every individual out there as I walk by and grab what I need at the store for, whatever. And Spirit's not going to just let me grab everything, only the things that I need now. And it's, again, pointing to living in the now.
Yeah.
In the present moment, because that's all we have. And by being that way, I can be steered by Spirit when the time comes.
Yeah.
Because Spirit can project into the future when I'm going to be going there, and then Spirit can step in the way and say, okay, no, we need to go this way. And so I say, oh, okay, here we go now. And it's like I've been waiting since, I think I've been in Colorado now since October. And just thinking I was getting signs, so I'd make movement towards moving or going. Mm-hmm. And just to find out that, no, that wasn't it. I don't know if it was a test or what the case may be, but, you get turned down. So you say, okay. Yeah. And just go be,
Yeah. And sometimes, because I was in that mode for a long time. Where do you go next? Where do you go next? And you're led there. And then I get over here, which was a complete surprise. And then I'm like, okay, where am I going next? And then I finally realized I'm not going anywhere for a while. You're not going anywhere. You're supposed to do some work here or whatever. It's like, I call it, now we can explore the why nots. I think of that old Robert Kennedy's funeral. And Teddy Kennedy said, my brother, some people see things and ask why. My brother would see things and ask why not. And I say, we're exploring the why nots. Like, the externals told us we can't do this or we can't do that. And that was what was so incredible about your story last time you were on, because you get off a bus and everybody's in line at, customs or border security. And you just, why not? Why not walk past everybody? This is my creation, and just go sit on the other side of the line and wait for everybody to get done.
Yeah, no more lines. No more lines. I put forth my intention long ago, years ago, to come with abundance, without knowing that I gave permission to Spirit to push, pull, and drag me through in creating that.
Yeah.
So if you're a part of me, I'm doing this for not only myself, but I'm doing that for all that I am, we are. Yeah. And so that is my purpose. That is my mission. And that's all I do and be. And by embodying that dream, I will bring that into manifestation for all that I am, we are. And I do not work alone. We all do this together.
Yeah.
And that's just my little part of the whole. I'm an integral aspect of the whole, as each of us is a sovereign integral aspect of that whole one that we are.
Yeah.
And I've been practicing and learning how to perceive my reality and learn to be grateful for, because I have nothing and yet I have everything. I have access to everything that I need. So it's like emptiness or less is more.
Yeah.
And in this place, life becomes very simple. There's no complexities. There's no baggage. There's no there's no heavy weight. In fact, I don't do anything without spirit. Spirit does all the work. I mean, it's an effortless way of being in this place of trust. And if we can all just learn to live and love and trust in all that is, that there's a benevolent purpose to all that is that comes into our experience. And then we just kind of roll with the punches, as they say, or move with the flippers of the pinball machine. And I'm just the ball. I'm just the ball rolling around. I'm along for the ride. That doesn't cost me a dime.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go to work. I don't have to pay taxes. I don't have to file anything. I don't have to. I mean, it's just like I stepped out of that years ago, and Spirit has assured me that I wasn't guided to do those things without purpose, and so I don't have a car. I don't anymore, or a truck, or a motorcycle, or anything anymore, and because I don't need it, and I keep myself open to whatever can come my way. And I use my imagination to come up with ideas on how I can do and be. So it's a weird thing, this place I'm in right now. I'm kind of scratching my head why is change in my life between the last time we interviewed and the time we're chatting now, except maybe a little bit more integration, a little bit more embodiment of this wholeness, and a little bit more open and receptive community that's out there, to hearing what I'm sharing, maybe. So I'm sharing this because with the curiosity in my mind that I've got another interview, later on this month with you, or is it next month? It's this month. Still. Yeah. So I knew that there was change coming because I trust that there's a reason you scheduled 2 interviews. There are no accidents.
Nope.
And then last night, I got this guidance from a part of, my guidance came through and basically said that, because I had asked Spirit when I was going to move beyond this holding pattern that I seem to be in. And the guidance came through with an image of a 333, and that speaks to me from the perspective of the second 3-3 of the month is day after tomorrow, which is 3/12. 2019, and then we've got the third of the third 3. We've got the third one is on the equinox, which is when it's the sun and the darkness, the light and the day, and the night is equal. There's balance there. Okay, and everything here is all about balance because there's no magic without balance. Okay, so guidance came through with this image of the 333 brought together to form a flower. It was Kylea is her name. Kylea came through with what she thought was a daisy. Well, it came to me a little bit later on in the evening that it was actually a shamrock or a clover. Symbolizes St. Patrick's Day. So I Googled when's St. Patrick's Day, and sure as shit, it's the 17th of this month, which is next Sunday, a week from today.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's interesting is the 3-2-1. I see the 321 as a countdown, 3-2-1, a countdown to 0 point. Because if you take March 17th, you go to the 18th is 3, the 19th is 2, the 20th is 1, and 0 point or balance and magic is on the winter on the spring equinox. This is the 3-2-1-0 countdown for what I see is the birthing of the Christ consciousness in the earth, because something's going to change.
Yeah.
For all I am, we are, because it didn't come by accident that way. And I'm born on the other equinox in the fall. I was brought into this earth on September 23rd, which is the fall equinox. So now I don't know if I'm going to be born again on the spring equinox, but it's happening for me because I'm living this from this perspective, and that's all our reality is based on perception, how we translate our reality. I'm translating my reality from this place of wholeness, from this place of we are all one.
Yeah.
And I trust in all are going to guide me in where I'm going. So there's some stuff coming, and I think everybody feels it in the external as well as in the internal. I mean, it was on the 3-3 that I had 3 days of this lower or higher neck and back of the head aches that were just like a nag for 3 days solid. It was just like, whoa. On the first 3-3, I'm great today. I'm doing fine, but I'm hearing a lot of people are getting a lot of energetic upgrades right now, and they're feeling it.
You mentioned a lot of integration. I was going to ask you, but you've already answered it, which is you're feeling some of that physically. I was too. I actually got I didn't think about the 12th, but I think it was right around 3-3, or maybe the day after, I got this 3-3-3 thing. And I saw it as this space between the 3rd and the 21st. And Morgan just put up in the comments, so you got St. Patty's on the 17th. You got the Ides of March on the 15th, which is about all debt being settled. And then she says, energetically, this could be very profound. So this month, I remember last year as we're going through the year, and I don't claim to get a lot of intel, but I knew September was going to be huge. And my friend Amanda Lawrence throughout the whole year was saying the same thing. We're like, something's going on in September. Like somebody's getting a starting gun at the beginning of a race and shooting it, go. And then now this month, I mean, January was far out, man. And February was like a vortex or like a black hole or a portal. I don't know. But as soon as March 1st came, and as it was approaching, I felt the same way that I did about September. I said, there's something huge is happening in March. And I love what you said about the 3-2-1 to the 0 point. That makes total sense. And with all those dates,
we're passing through the eye of the needle. On this is what I see is we're going from backwards 3-2-1 to 0 point, a new beginning. Yeah. And we're going to start 1, 2, 3 and start the count that way. And I think we're going to go to galactic calendar, the 13-month calendar. I mean, this we're going to look back on this date as a new beginning, kind of like, we're now at 2019, from 0 point back then. We're gonna start again at 0 point, and I'm seeing a whole new world opening up, and I think embodiment of my soul aspect is coming in entirely to its entirety. Is coming in. It's that marriage, that full on embodiment of the spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm staying open to everything and attached to nothing, and just going with the flow. And so that's why I say really not much has changed. I've been on this holding pattern because it was back in August, the Lions Gate in August, that I completed building that bridge.
Yeah.
On my journey. So, and found my way back here. And now the next phase, I think this is when I really start to, well, kind of like springtime, things come into blossom.
Yeah. Yeah. The colors come in.
Yeah. All the flowers are going to bloom, and you and I, all of us are going to blossom. The Jubilee, everything's going to come into manifestation. Even though I saw it happen in 2012, when all debt was forgiven back then, because all the debt's been forgiven about it yet, because nobody wanted to tell anybody and hand it down if you got a hierarchical structure that wants to maintain control, the top echelon's not going to tell everybody that game's over, is a new game in town.
Yeah.
So I had to go prove it to myself. Yeah, there is a new game in town.
You were working the grid, man.
Yeah.
you were doing the light worker shuffle, man, which is, then you get to a point where you realize, I don't got to suffer to do this. We don't have to suffer to do this. There's a lot of evidence, though, that's been building up, and even it's just been 10 days this month. But there's a lot of evidence. If I look at the frequency and the vibration on news feeds and what's coming out of people, because we can see each other's energy. We all know this now. But I'm seeing more people disengaging. Like it's like a wave. It's like a virus or like a contagion, More people are checking out from elements of the system. Some of it's semi-forced, like you're not going to be in this relationship, you're not going to have this job, whatever the case is. But I'm seeing also less negative connotation, because through these last few months,
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Because through these last few months, when the light was being shown on all of us, there was a little bit of projecting and acting out, and and it was so funny. It was because you'd see people come out and say, I'm today, F this, F that. And then the next day they'd come back and say, hey, thank you for holding space for me. It was almost like you could see this evolution. But now you're seeing a lot more collaboration, co-creation, support, but not that codependent support, that I am soul support, owning it. And that is one of the things that is surfacing, is people disengaging from aspects of the false matrix like you have.
Yeah, well, the great I am is flowing through everyone, is going to start prompting every one of us to let go of the 3D and go with the flow, so that we can, the more of us that let go, the less power it has over us, and that momentum is building strong, and there's a wave of us that will be free of that construct, and you're going to be able to show others as it's like a procession of groups, monad groups or whatever. They're going are going to let go, and they're going to be the support for the next wave. And so these leaders will move to this level, and everybody will follow suit, up the ladder kind of thing. And that's called teamwork. And we're all the A team here.
That's right. And every one of us, who was it yesterday? Every one of us is an integral piece, like you're talking about. It's teamwork. Yeah. Yes. I am not complete without the universe, but the universe is not complete without me.
We are the body of Christ. Yeah. Literally and figuratively speaking, the body of the Christ is, we're all little cells or cell receptors on a sphere, this cell we call Earth, that function as transmitters and receivers of data for source. And we're all playing our parts at all different levels, and all this information is being recorded.
Yeah.
It's been being logged in and written, and it's going to be the new greatest story ever told. And we're creating it. We created the last one too, probably.
I'm sure we did.
Yeah, of course we did, because we're not separate from source, right?
Yeah, we're writing a new good book, for the next cycle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No doubt.
Yep.
No doubt at all. And that's exciting.
Oh, it's gonna get exciting. We ain't seen nothing yet. I can feel it. It's only just now gonna be. It's just now beginning. So
It is.
Yeah, at least the fun side.
Yeah, I've seen some incredible stories take root in the last few months, in the last 2, 3, 4 months. I mean, 3 couples, people close to me, that have gone just head first, into this fantasy relationship with ridiculously incredible stories that defy the rules. It's a fairy tale. This is we're I think
There are no rules. No rules and no rulers. No rules and no rulers.
The only rule
Except
there is,
you. You're the ruler of your own.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. The separation is going to infinitesimal degrees of unseparation. I was talking to Nikki about eating a chicken wing and drinking a beer last night. That's how my story unfolded. It was, I got to get some space. I got to get out on the earth. I'm driving down the road. I go to the grocery store. I load up the basket. I unload everything. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I drive down the street. I hear some music. I think I'm going to go do that. And I sit down. But that, I hate to use the term, but that monkey mind voice, just fading and fading and fading. It's like, hey, you had me convinced all these years. I'm not buying it anymore. There are no rules. Everything is the same. I can eat what I want, drink what I want, because it's the same energy, So a lot of these rules that we are defying, it's the same energy of the rules that we've created in, say, light worker circles, like you got to eat plants only. You can't do this or you can do that. No, it's the same energy. There is no separation. Everything is the same exact energy, and it will play with us and cooperate with us. Like you said.
Well, the universe will honor our beliefs. That's what we have to get a grip on, is that all of our beliefs are honored by the Creator. Out of unconditional love. And so as we say it, when I say I am this or that, the universe just says, and so it is. In everything.
Yeah. And that universal reciprocation's subjective. So now we know that we have the power, and we always did. Dorothy, click your heels. So now we can guard and honor and respect and love and hold in reverence our thoughts, and be conscious of what we're putting out there, because it is creating.
Yeah, it's time to be self-governed now instead of relying on the external government. It's about going inward to self-governance, and that was kind of what I got out of jail. My time in jail was, where government is mind control. That's what it means. Well, from a judgment perspective, we're casting that blame to the external, but when we take full responsibility as a sovereign, we say, okay, then it is time for me to become self-governed, govern my own thoughts and beliefs. And in this way, we take responsibility for our own creation.
Yeah.
And that's the practice that makes perfect the master of one's own creation.
Yeah. Well, like you said, we're going from an external to an internal. And instead of trying to change it through the external, we're going to the internal, which is actually simultaneously reflecting upon us, reflecting back to us.
Yes, absolutely. Because the universe is a mirror.
Yeah.
It'll mirror back to you that which we are within.
Yeah.
And I'm a living example of that. I tell you truly, man, it's amazing to do the things that we can do so long as we trust in a place without judgment. Because what I saw in that was that there would be no, everybody talks about these trials that are coming up and all this, the lynching that's going to happen. I don't see that.
I don't either.
I don't see it. That's what the 3D mind can justify, and the ego would want to have occur for all the dirty deeds. Well, those externals are aspects of our own self.
Yeah.
Those are our shadows. They're there to show us something, and there's a party about ready to happen.
Yeah.
Of us. When you can see it from that wholeness perspective, that's where all the compassion, the understanding, and the forgiveness comes in, and that's where the power is. The power is in the love itself. It's not the love of power; it's the power of love.
Yeah.
The power of forgiveness, the power of understanding and compassion and humility. Those are your strength. I mean, that's what the darkness would perceive as being a weakness.
Yeah.
But you know what? In these new energies, it's going to become self-evident to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we let go of the struggle.
Yeah. Well, I keep saying I'm looking forward to the day when everybody knows everything about each other. So we can get past the embarrassment and the shame and the limiting, mindset, like you were talking about. It's not love of power, it's power of love. And then it's the power. Where is your power? I mean, are you trusting the story? Are you trusting yourself? Because when we trust ourselves, we create the story. Like you said, we create the new good book. Yeah.
That's where the trust starts first. Trust starts with the self. And then, and because you're not separate from source, that just bleeds over. It's the same thing. It's like we can only go as far as we can trust ourselves, and that's what we're most afraid of, is all the power that we do have.
Yeah.
It's the unknown, and fortunately to me, I'm just one of those thrill seekers that likes to venture into the unknown.
I can relate.
Because I like discovery, because there's no discovery if you follow what everybody else does. And that's been my journey.
But that is the mark of creation, that curiosity,
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, we were all stars up there. We're all illuminating in the golden white light with the perfect tone and vibrational frequencies. And we're all sitting there and somebody said, hey man, let's go do something. Right. And that's really, but that's how it happens. Like, we have
like Star Trek.
Yeah. But like we have a template. There's no predetermination, other than what is one, but I mean, in terms of playing, we're playing. We're expanding. We're playing. It's not a pain and suffering type of thing. This is a elation, ecstasy. So, I mean, I think, for me, like what you're talking about, the reflection coming back to you and how mind blowing it is. I'm pinching myself 3, 4, 5 months ago. I'm pinching myself going, wow, is this really happening? I'm pinching myself less now. I'm accepting of it. And last night I had a huge deal on the balcony. I was telling Nikki, and it's so difficult to explain the stuff that comes in because it's not words. But the way I would explain it was, this is yours. This is all yours. So just choose how you want this to go. Do you want to have a home here? Do you want to see Soulogy offer this to the world? Not the house. not the how to, just where's your heart? What are you aligned with? Because this universe is speaking to me, was saying, because I'm here to help you. We're going to do this together, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It is a together thing. I was told those words, in fact, and again, when I was in jail, it's just the two of us. And because I was walking around the pod and I was just humming this song, and I realized I'm saying it's just the two of us. It's that song called Just the Two of Us, and I just started cracking up, and it's like, holy shit. From the highest perspective of us, I mean, I'm the center of my universe as you are the center of yours. Just as so happens that our universes resonate really close to each other right now. But yeah, it's like, wow.
So, so it's concentric circles, man. That flower of life. That flower of life it looks stationary, but those circles are all doing this, and that's just what happens. We come together, we come together, we come together, and you come together once, you come together forever anyway.
Yeah, yeah. We're in this multiverse for sure. And we're doing this together. Because there's still one that flows through all the multiverses. Yeah. This almighty intelligence, awareness of the universe. That's kind of what it is. I mean, we're made of atoms. Everything is. That's what works for me from my perspective. Is I was told I was an atom in time, and if you can just think of yourself as an atom, and then you think about how the periodic table of elements are made of atomic bonds of magnetic attraction. Mm-hmm. How they all come together, and then the elements come together to form the gases, the liquids, and the solids. I mean, all atoms make up the creation. So it's like from a simple perspective, it's just an atom I am. And it's like, well, okay, well, that's all everything is. So I can have a discussion with a rock and really feel like it's alive because I know it is. There's a consciousness flowing through it. So
been doing that for years. It better be alive.
Yeah, you're okay to say that now.
Yeah, right. I was watching. I've been since Morgan left. I've spent some time trying to watch videos, right? Like just surfing YouTube. I can't find anything that really grabs me. Maybe 2% of but I came across something, and I don't remember who it was, but it had to do with the metaphysical, had to do with consciousness, and I think the question was posed: how do we know that our entire experience, reality, realm, is not one cell in a body of something else, like a Todd or a Lawrence? And I said to myself, okay, I'm turning this one off. But I said to myself, yeah. And how do we not know that I don't have billions of cells in my body that are doing the same damn thing? I mean, multidimensionality is multidimensionality. Nothing ends. Everything's limitless, But this particular trip has got to be something huge. It is, because why would we be conscious 99% of the time with this little iota of our multidimensionality? I mean, this is huge. This is the fairy tale. And I think you're right. I think the first is and there's a full moon as well coinciding with that equinox, which is, I mean, like you said at the top of the show, there are no mistakes. There's no coincidence.
Oh man, that's so cool. That, I mean, St. Patrick's Day, 3-2-1-0 point. Yeah. Flash. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's like that was the answer I got last night from a dear soul that is so finely tuned instrument. Amazing. But, that I had a hard time getting to sleep last night. So I'm really stoked. I'm stoked.
something's in the Kool-Aid here the last few days. I've had, I think, 7 days now of incredible lucid dreams with not full recall, but much more recall than normal. In 7 days in a row, and they're all it's all a story, and most of it's been me and Morgan traveling around, interacting with what you were talking about, like monads or cells or communities, and everybody just, everybody's in flow, and I'm looking at dreams going, what is this? What is this?
It's the greatest orchestra you could ever imagine. It is being orchestrated by the One, and we are all instruments in that orchestra, elegantly, woven together in such a fashion that everybody's being put exactly where they need to be for whatever happens. And I just trust in that process and that plan, that coordinated orchestration that's going on. It's just a beautiful thing.
So, do you have any inkling or idea? Because I know you're a gypsy. I know that blood's that's not been diluted that much. Do you have any idea do you have any plans at all to travel around, even for a?
I have no plans. I make no plans. No. I've been guided I've given this instrument to Spirit wholeheartedly. It's like, it's my God, if you will. You know what I mean? It's like somebody, Unity Grace, she's into the gene keys.
Yeah.
There's a gene key that talks about at the 39th Siddhi or something like that. And oh man, it just totally resonates with me because it's all backwards. I've given up my ego, my idea of what I want. And I put all of I sacrificed my idea of life for something that I know that Spirit can bring me into, because I'm not getting in the way. If I put my mind's idea in, if I make a plan to go this way, the universe has to honor that. But if I say, no, I trust you to carry me, allow me to be that instrument through which you can operate to create a reality that only you know that I could embrace, what my potential is, because I don't know what my potential is. How can I know from this perspective in a 3D place?
That's right.
I cannot know. So I am the surrender experiment. Wholly let go and let God. So I don't get in the way of any, I see a lot of people making plans and stuff. You know what? Wonderful. That's your journey. This is my journey. My journey is, I'm just taking a back seat and I'm going to let my Spirit carry me into my future, into our future.
Aligning that free will with the universal will.
Well, a clear channel is one who gets all the blockages out of the way. And the moment I get my mind's idea in there, it's a block. So I get out of the way, and so the universe can then flow through me to create, and work the magic, because the magic don't happen unless you get into a state of allowance, and allowance comes through surrender, trust. So that's
like,
how.
Like the surrender of free will. It's like,
it's funny. I don't have free will. But I do, because if from the perspective of the human, as Lawrence, the personality Lawrence, I've given up my free will. But for seeing myself as an aspect of the Creator, paradoxically, I've not given up my free will, because that aspect, that higher aspect, or that highest aspect of myself knows exactly what my potential is and where my journey goes and how it gets done. So if I can just reside in that trust and just follow the omens, the signs, and go and do and be, I'm going to venture into the unknown beyond anything I could even imagine. And that's the only way you can venture beyond the mind, into the unknown. It's like where no man has gone before, kind of thing. And as Star Trek or as Star Wars or whatever, where no man has gone before. That's what we do, is we send ourselves off to go discover. And I can't discover if I got my own ideas. It's like, I want to live in Hawaii. Well, what if there's something better? Mm-hmm. I mean, what a great thing. I mean, gosh, that's a beautiful thing. But I can be of better service to my creation for the sake of all I am, we are, if I give myself wholly, in holy matrimony, with the one that knows all.
Yeah.
What better hands could one be in?
Yeah, I read a book early in my journey, in my early 20s, Emmett Fox, metaphysical Protestant, but he was very metaphysical. He broke down the etymology of some of the sacred texts, and he has a book called The Sermon on the Mount, where what is it called? The Beatitudes or whatever. And he breaks down the etymology of it. And there's one part of it that always stuck out, which is what you're talking about. And he says that what's being said in that sermon is in regard to the part about the meek will inherit the earth. Meek did not mean what it means today, but that it's to get out of the way and allow that whatever the universe has in store is something vital and interesting, okay? And to allow it's a state of mind to allow it to unfold how the universe sees fit, because it's something far greater than anything you could ever imagine for yourself. And it always stuck out in my head. Same thing you're talking about.
Well, that's how I live my life now. I don't make any plans. I always put my intentions, if it is for my highest good, let it be. May it be. And I otherwise, somebody gives me a great idea. It sounds exciting. I said, well, I basically put it to spirit. I says, I'm going to trust you. If it's for my highest good, let's do this. And then we go. And so I go ahead and I try to push the door open. And if the door doesn't open, if it says no, then I say, okay, very good. And I accept that. I allow that. And in gratitude. And so I just rest in that peace. And that's the effortlessness required of us in this place of trust, where we have access to our trust fund, our inheritance of the earth. As it says, the meek shall inherit the earth. Well, the earth is mine if I'm one with the Creator and allow it to carry me, because I'll have access to whatever I need to fulfill whatever purpose I may have. All I know is I put forth the intention to create a sovereign realm of abundance. Well, I'm still working on that. And so I don't have any other wants or needs. I just, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just getting out of the way. And that's what we always do, is we always get in the way of ourselves and we trip ourselves up.
Yeah.
And that's when the pain hurts. That's when it hurts.
And trip each other up.
We do.
But, there seems to be something happening. And some of it's by the free will choice of surrender, and some of it's by the force of the universe saying the mirage is over. So some people are getting swift kicks in the ass, and some people are flowing into it, and some are doing a little bit of both. But there's something going on. There's something going on where
a lot of us have agreements.
Yeah,
we have contracts. We have missions to fulfill, purposes to fulfill, and that's where your higher aspect is gonna push, pull, and drag you through the shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the more you resist, and that's what I have to share is don't resist, just go with the flow. It's going to make it a lot easier because that resistance is just going to hurt. It's just going to cause bruises and,
Yeah.
in so many different metaphorical ways,
Yeah.
but it is an effortless process.
Yeah. And I think people are taking ownership of themselves. They're so there's not the tripping up so much of others, it's the tripping up of yourself still. The last line of separation is within ourselves, right? I mean, but they're people are claiming their sovereignty. People are taking responsibility for their soul journey for themselves and making the choices that are best for themselves. That's beginning to take hold. You're seeing that out there. And I love what you said about the cells, the monads. That's that that's not something I'd actually verbalize, but I can see what you're talking about. That's happening.
Well, think about this for a minute. If we're all cells in the body of Christ, there are, in our human instrument, the heart is made of specific cells that are specific to the heart. The liver cells are specific to the liver. Every organ has cells that are specific with a specific set of instructions that function within the orchestra we call the human instrument to fulfill the function of the body fit for purpose. And we as a collective of humanity are much the same. Each of us fulfills an organ of the body of Christ, a supportive role in this drama, this unfolding story of love story. I call it a love story.
Yeah.
The greatest love story ever told. And that's what we're going to get to realize sooner or later.
Yeah, right on.
I recommend sooner.
Sooner's here. That's another
Yeah.
thing. That's another thing.
Now. All we have is now. Yeah.
So this whole that's where I'm with you too, man, because it's like this whole waiting, like Nikki talked about the waiting. What are we waiting on? Waiting on military tribunals? Waiting on a financial reset? Waiting on what? Yeah, I ain't waiting on anything. I said this last time and I'll say it again. I trust me and I trust you. I don't trust that mirage out there. I don't trust, that path had plenty of time to prove us wrong. So we only got one choice left.
Yeah, that's a 3D thought pattern that's going to fade into a distant memory.
Yeah.
That's a pattern that I recognize patterns.
Yeah.
And that was just another pattern. I realized that. It's like I heard this was like in 2013 that all the politicians had ankle bracelets on, back then. Yet here things are going on just like normal. So it's like, you know what? Hell with that. I'm not waiting for anything anymore. So that's when I pushed through my comfort zones and faced my greatest fears and watched how the universe slowly but surely honored my new way of being and doing, free and outside the constructs or requirement for money. And it didn't come instantly. It was like weightlifting. I had to do it day in and day out, 3 times a day even. It's like weightlifting, working out. It's like you got to push all that cellular memory out of the body so it's gone. So it's just a comforting, just a stroll in the park now to go through and grab what I need when I need it. It's like not an issue. Or go across an alleged border of a country. It's like it doesn't exist anymore, not in my reality. And you all of us can do the same thing if you just let go of the 3D thought patterns and beliefs.
Yeah. 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 I think it's happening. It's happening like, it's happening consciously and maybe for some it's not, it's happening unconsciously, but it's happening.
Yes.
This ain't being stopped. It'll be interesting to see when we get together on the 27th. It's the 27th. Yeah. 12 o'clock my time. So probably whatever that's going to be, 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Three
But it'll be
o'clock.
interesting to see what happens, because that'll be what, 7 days out of the 0 point. It'd be real interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah. And he's like, there's got to be a change between now and then, or we're gonna have a boring talk.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot changing. And what is that? Yeah. I'll look forward to seeing you then.
I'm looking forward to it myself. Thank you.
That was not a coincidence. I'm really so you guys be sure and tune in on the 27th, and we'll see what happens after going through the black hole, or the 0 point, or whatever the heck it is with Lawrence. I'll talk to you later. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.